Welcome, chat, to Aliens, Signals, Sounds, and Spooks, Part 2, UFO Photos and Videos. So, it's been a little while since I've done some UFO stuff, but it is the haunted season, and I figured it would be a good time to bring this back. Riposte, thank you for making this pack of stuff. And my own interest in aliens will not overwrite my rational mind much. But let's have a look and see what we got. All right. This is part 2 of a 4-in-1 mega pack. Huh? 4-in-1 mega pack. Everything in this pack is guaranteed 100% real, and also some fluff was removed, and there's better clips with subtitles, and it's a better pack overall. So thank you for making this riposte. But we're going to take a look at some stuff from Vancouver, 1981 to 1937. But first, UAP reporting trends. So, yeah. I mean, you can see from the charts exactly what you need to see. You know what you're looking at. I know what I'm looking at too. This photo was taken October 8, 1981 by Hannah McRoberts while with her family on the east coast of Vancouver Island. The UFO wasn't noticed until the photos were developed. Richard F. Haynes, a retired NASA scientist, carried out a thorough analysis of the photo negative and could not discover any tampering. His analysis was inserted in the scientific report of the Duroc panel in 1998. That's a scientific panel created to review physical evidence associated with UFOs. So, let's see. This one is from 1937. These images were taken by Leonard and Wilfred Lemereau, I think, in December 1937 over Vancouver City Hall. The men were trying to get photos of the Christmas lights when the object dropped straight down from the sky, emanating a bright, bright blue light. And surrounded by some sort of bubble with a tail, the object moved over City Hall and then shot back upwards. Leonard insisted that the story was true for his whole life, only passing away in 1992. Only passing away in 1992, huh? Well, there it is, chat. That looks like, it looks like fire. Kind of looks like a Goku attack. Or, like Mega Man shooting. Will we ever know the truth of this UFO, chat? And the answer is yes. Because I am bringing you a world first. You're going to hear this for the first time on this stream. And I have something really interesting. You ready? Here it is. That's 2 duck calls at the same time. World premiere right there. This next one is from Baldwin, Australia, 1966. Known in Australia as the Baldwin UFO, this mushroom or bell-shaped object was photographed by a businessman from his garden in the Melbourne suburb of Baldwin, April 2nd, 1966. The case was highly documented and examined thoroughly by the Victorian Flying Saucer Research Society of Moorabbin, who noted that the photo showed no sign of multiple exposure, montage, or any tampering. There's the original Polaroid. Kind of looks like a fish. Looks like a sunfish. Blimey. Now it's a flying mushroom. There it is. There's the article. I don't really have much to say about this personally, other than when it comes to any of these UFO things, you do have to take it with a grain of salt For me, it also comes down to, all right, this is a thing that happened. It was published. Did the guy make any money from it? I don't know. And if not, did he get famous from it? Because I do wonder, like, a lot of people wonder or, speculate that the UFO people are, like, looking for fame. And, like, how often does that really happen? It's like what, 20 guys ever? Maybe 5? So, I don't know. The Calvine UFO photo. This photo was taken by 2 hikers August 4th, 1990, near Calvine, Scotland, showing a massive diamond-shaped UFO and an intercepting RAF fighter jet in view. Deemed lost for over 32 years, a copy of the original print of the photograph was discovered in the collection of RAF press officer Craig Lindsay, who had held onto a copy for decades in hopes that someone would one day ask him about it. British journalist David Clark, who contacted Lindsay about his copy, believed the object was man-made and somewhere in a secret hangar. His speculation is shared by others who theorize the photograph is of a still-secret U.S. aircraft project named Aurora. Why is it always some old English bloke who has either proof of the whole thing or proof he faked the whole thing? Chat, it's 2 guys in a cornfield. Or wheat field. There he is. It's pretty interesting. It's a good photo. This guy looks, he looks proud of his work. I'm a fan of this guy. If he's gonna, like, if anyone's gonna become famous from UFOs, that guy would be cool. I'd like to, have learned more about him. Would I ask him about the photo? Yeah, he's probably sleeping. Hopefully. And still... Anyway, it looks like a diamond. And yeah, if that is tech that, humans have created and is secret, that's something that doesn't surprise me. These things do stay hidden for quite a while. New York, 1950. And Italy, too. Cigars and cylinders. So we have videos soon, too, but for now, here's the photos. We got plenty of photos of stuff, and then eventually videos. So stay tuned for more photos. This cylindrical appearing UFO was photographed over New York City on March 20th, 1950. I think I need a better spooky playlist. Some of the spooky stuff is a little too... It's not bad, but it just gets a little bit, like, distracting. Yeah, this one's mouthwashing. It's good, but... Yeah. The photographer's name was deleted from Project Blue Book's files, as were most names when the material was finally declassified and released. Upon investigating the report, Project Grudge officially labeled it The Moon. Some ufologists have speculated, yes, ufologists, chat, have speculated that tubular objects of this sort may be motherships, purportedly capable of taking on and discharging smaller craft in stacks, poker chip fashion. That's an interesting photo. I've heard of the cigar-shaped UFOs, but this one is pretty interesting looking. June 18th, 1979, Italian Air Force pilot Marshal Giancarlo Ciccioni was flying his G-91R aircraft when he received a radio alert from nearby Istrana airfield. The radar crew had detected an unknown object moving at low altitude and behaving strangely, intermittently appearing on their radar scope, and Ciccioni was asked to investigate. Meanwhile, a different airfield's traffic control tower also reported seeing the object, noting a bluish trail behind it. Ciccioni managed to take these photographs himself before the object simply disappeared. The entire incident lasted only 5 minutes. Here's the second photo. This is untouched. This is as published. I know it looks like sky poop. But it was in the paper. I've yet to see anything like this. I haven't seen very much anomalous stuff. I've seen, like, weird lights moving and then blinking and then maybe, like, fading, but I don't know what it was. Could have been a helicopter. Could have been anything. Could have been a bird with a light up its butt. I don't know. But if you were on the ground and you looked up and you saw a sky cylinder, that would be pretty weird. And then what the fuck do you do if you end up believing in UFOs for the rest of your life? That sucks. You just have to deal with it. Or keep it to yourself or something, you know? People will be like, no, you didn't. Shit's not real. You're like, no, I saw a sky turd. That's why I believe in this stuff only as far as I have seen this stuff, which is to say, not too much. But it's an interesting topic, at least. This classic-looking UFO was photographed in July 1966 by the pilot of a C-47 Skytrain transport aircraft while flying over the Rocky Mountains near Provo, Utah. The Condon report discounted these images as objects thrown in the air. However, their analysis has been disputed many times over the years. The entire Condon report itself is looked on as a farce, even becoming the butt of jokes in popular media like the X-Files. What I don't love about these hubcap-looking UFOs is that they end up looking a little bit too much like that Billy Meyer hubcap stuff. It looks too 70s. It looks too geometrically specific. And this looks like Devo. Yeah, the Devo hat. The Power Dome. But there's a dude named Billy Meyer who just claimed he had contact and, you know, had thousands of pictures like this. And it was just hubcaps. And that's the stuff that makes me believe in UFOs less. But maybe they are hubcap shaped. But specifically in the 70s and 60s only. This photo was taken in 1971 by a map maker flying at 10,000 feet over Lake Cote, Costa Rica, capturing footage of the rainforest in 20-second intervals for the National Geographic Institute of Costa Rica. The unidentified object was only spotted a decade later in the 80s when the negatives were studied for potential ways to connect Lake Cote with the nearby Arenal Lagoon. Out of all the pictures, only a single frame, time-stamped 8:25 a.m., contains the metal disc in it. The object's size has been estimated to be between 120 and 220 feet in diameter. It's very interesting. And something like this, too, especially if it's like a research team and they just discover some weird anomalous photograph, that is more interesting to me than some dude. But moving on. That's cool. This is Tavernes, France, 1974. This photo was taken by an anonymous medical doctor March 23rd, 1974 in Tavernes, France, during a major UFO flap. The rays of light are thought to be caused by ionized air. Post-rock album cover. It really does look like an awesome album cover. I'm going to go ahead and save this one. That's pretty cool. China Lake UFO. All right. October 2017. a man named Keith Bradshaw posted a series of photographs to a Facebook page for Art Bell's Midnight in the Desert show with a message that read, "I've had these photos for 10 years, and it's time to show them." They were taken July 2007 during a radar test at our field in Mojave Desert. I've always hesitated to show them, but here they are now. Keith later stated that the photos were taken illegally at China Lake, California, near U.S. Naval Base Ridgecrest, where he grew up. Multiple image analysis experts around the world were sent the images to check their authenticity. Analysts from the UK were convinced they were genuine, while others from Brazil considered them a hoax. You have to make up your own mind. Well, the problem with footage like this is it's too good. I think that's, cool looking, and that is the classic UFO if I've ever seen one. But anything after, 1995? 2000. The problem with any of that is, if the footage is too good, it's fake. If it's too shitty, it's fake. So, UFO stuff is a little hard. It's a little hard to believe, but I like the image. I think it's cool. Imagine though taking a photo of something like this and holding on to it and then releasing it. Like what if for a moment it was real and you decided to just release the photo? Would you be worried? I don't know. All right, we got Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters was the term used for various unknown aerial phenomena during World War II, reported on all fronts of the war. Both Allied and Axis forces presumed them to be weapons of the other side. The Robertson panel explored possible explanations, such as electrostatic phenomena similar to St. Elmo's fire, electromagnetic phenomena, or simply reflections of light from ice crystals. So we got a video of some Foo Fighters, and yes, that's what the band was named after. German gun cam captures Foo Fighter. So this is the first full-quality footage of a Foo Fighter to be found. It was only discovered in August 2024. It's kind of impossible to see what I'm looking at here, but we're going to skip ahead to the time code. It's also wild, the technology. The camera must have been huge. There it is. There it is, yeah. It's like a little orb. Wait, no. Was that it? Was that the orb? The object appears at 4:18, so that's coming up in just a moment, as you can see. I saw an orb, and I was like, oh, that's got to be the UFO. But no. Also, this is kind of insane footage to begin with, minus UFO even. Which, okay, there was the orb again. Imagine seeing what is potentially an alien life form, and you're still shooting the other guy. Also, dude, lead your shot. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. I don't think I want to watch the rest of this. Just kind of bringing me down. The Nazis are often mythologized as having super secret Wunderwaffe, or wonder weapons, each capable of winning the war on their own, yet never realized. Die Glock, the bell, is one of those many weapons. This craft was apparently capable of full anti-gravity flight, having been reverse engineered from a craft that was crashed in Italy and was transferred to Nazi control. I think I might have seen some... We don't need that. I might have seen something about this at some point. But, yeah. Anti-gravity, you say, huh? Flan? Yeah. I don't have as much info here about this thing as I would like, so I couldn't tell you what that footage specifically is. I couldn't tell you if this thing has been disproved or not. That might be extended learning material for you. Amazing that this footage is worse than the one in the airplane. Yeah, tell me about it, right? But, yeah. There's rumors that the Germans were making a saucer-shaped aircraft by the end of the war called Hanebu. Something. Don't know about the flying flan, though. The Black Triangle UFO of Guatemala. Black triangles have been a long-recurring shape and color for UFOs. While many early sightings can be attributed to the test flights of things like the F-117 Nighthawk or the B-2 Spirit, not all can be discounted this way. So this was filmed by the same person multiple times over Guatemala in 2022. Huh. Don't have much more info than this, but it's weirdly unnerving if it's real. That is... Yeah, I agree with that. I would not want to see that above me. That's a TR-3B. You're talking about, Oh, okay. TR-3B is a widely discussed but unconfirmed top-secret military aircraft, also known as the Black Manta or Astra, rumored to be using advanced anti-gravity technology. Okay, so that is a rumored thing, but also the, what was it called? The lights, the something lights. I should know this. But there was, sightings in the Hudson Valley, the Phoenix Lights, there you go. That was a pretty popular one. This one, if anything, is technology that we humans have created, whether that be America or also the rest of the world, I don't know, but this seems to be the most obvious, that seems to be the most obvious answer for this particular stuff. So, but here's one from the Isle of Wight.
Oh my god. Go and get Mum, quick.
Get Mum.
Back again.
Get Mum. The Dorito is in the air. Get the guacamole. Get the dip. This video was filmed in the year 2000 on the Isle of Wight, UK. Note that it does the same little wiggle as the Guatemala object does. It's a very Dirichler-shaped ship. I see the wiggle. That's how the anti-gravity works. It's the wiggle. Alright, chat. Now this one, I'll tell you about this one. This was filmed in Ontario, Canada, 2023, and was posted to Reddit. Now you can trust this because it was posted on Reddit.
What is that? Look at the lights all around it.
Yeah, I don't think your camera is going to be doing you any favors for this one. Sorry. Weird. But this one's from
It's not
2008
even there.
in England. What is that? It looks like a fucking Dorito. Voice got really high.
I think it may be an advertising. Have you got it on there? What the fuck is that? Have you got it on there?
Yeah.
Maybe it might be like a satellite or.
No.
Nah. I mean, these are all exhibiting a lot of the same characteristics, so very interesting triangle things. And I would like to believe that some of the footage we're seeing today is at least genuine, meaning the people that got the footage are just like, okay, what is that? You know, whether or not it's some kind of alien technology or an experimental craft or it's just a balloon in the shape of a triangle, that's a whole different story. But I do believe that in the enormous wealth of footage, to the fact that they keep making UFO shows infinitely. There's infinite footage of this shit. I think some of it's real. Not real aliens, maybe. But yeah. People speculate that the high number of UK sightings of triangles corresponds with the testing of the Lockheed TR-3B. There it is again, hearing about that via the joint US-UK air bases, though the craft's mere existence is still unverified. God, I would love to know that we have anti-gravity technology and that we've been holding back on it because... Why? I don't know. The best counter-argument to this is how incredibly massive space is. That is, you probably have heard me say this if you watched my UFO segments before. It's not something I think about on a daily basis. I have an alien roommate, as many of you are aware. As an example. But it is a huge universe out there. Just the galaxy itself, even. And I think it's almost foolish to think we're the only life in this galaxy. And then taking it a step further, and you just look at all the galaxies out there, and you think about, it's the Fermi thing, right? It's the Fermi paradox. I think intelligent life is possible. I think it's very possible. I'm not going to say that our sky, our airspace, is a playground for UFOs by any means, or aliens, but I am going to say that there might be some weird, wild stuff out there. So, the Mosul Orb. Alright. Orb UFOs. Taken by U.S. reconnaissance plane in April 2016, this image shows what seems to be a perfectly spherical orb flying over Mosul, Iraq. The image was released via the Freedom of Information Act requests made by Jeremy Corbell. Okay. So there's... I see some... Yep, I see it. There you go. That's really interesting. None have been officially linked to aliens. I would say that's a pretty obvious statement. But, I don't know. What if someone is really good at shot put? What if they're just like incredible at shot put? Here's an orb following an A-10 Warthog, which is a very cool plane. In similar vein, this video taken by an MQ-9 Reaper drone was released by the Pentagon's AARO office during a hearing in 2022. Here it shows an orb over an active combat zone in the Middle East. The drone operator tries to keep up with the object, but it seems too fast to track. That's pretty, whenever there's military stuff, it's really spicy, because it's like in the same frame, or it's footage from military cameras. Especially when you hear about, like, pilots talking about how they couldn't, like, there's been a number of pilots that have said they couldn't keep up with some of these objects. And that's when I think, no, that's when I know who's operating these things, chat. Here's another orb beside an F-16.
What happens next is that a new object appears from behind the clouds. It was not identified. The new object suddenly descends and disappears into the clouds. Once again, here is the American plane at the same altitude as the maiden. And now here is the object as it appears behind the F-16. And here it emerges from behind the F-16, then goes down and enters the cloud bank.
Yeah. You know, that quality I wish was a little bit better. Someone said, I wish the aliens would just nut up and come out already. Quit pussyfooting around. Spoken like a true Mickey Rourke fan. Also, that drone footage was the first video I showed you from the weird metallic orb. And then the next video was the one from the A-10 Warthog, so... Orbs dripping slag. That's a really weird sentence, but okay. Supposedly filmed in Iraq, 2011, this video shows multiple orbs in formation and oddly dripping what seems to be a liquid metal slag. Something is fired at the orbs, but seems to have zero effect. Over the years, many UFO sightings have involved crafts dripping metal slag like the video above. Huh. Just Death Stranding. That's a really fucking spooky image. If you just take it at face value for a minute, that's really weird. That's fucking crazy footage. Again, let's just, for the sake of argument and have fun, assume that this is actually real footage and not some kind of, like, farcical ceremony done for our enfulment. That is kind of fucking weird. I would hate for it to be a farcical enfulment, chat. I really would. But this could make for inspiration for someone's game, whether or not Kojima has seen it. Just skipping around a bit. It looks like this is like an 8.5-minute video that they tracked these orbs. This is like military technology, and there's not really much you can see because the resolution. Oh, they light up at night, but what could they be dripping? Is it something that they're getting rid of? Or, you know, your mind starts to race. Like, is it something that they're putting here on purpose, or is it something they're just kind of shedding? 100% real, no fake. I want to see the missile hit it again because that was just a cool image. Just looked really... That just looks awesome. And has no effect. Yeah, that's one I'm probably going to remember. Here's an orb and a thunderstorm in Poland. That is, yeah, that's another orb. You know what else could be orbs? Balloons. I'm sorry. There's the Roswell excuse of the weather balloon, which I find kind of funny. But, you know, I do think a lot of this stuff can be explained as a weather balloon, or just balloon in general. I really do. Vinny, do you think it's the same alien visiting over and over again? No, I think that actually, if there's any kind of visiting, I think it could be multiple types of aliens. I don't think it's the same guy. I think it could be a bunch of different guys. Could be the mantis aliens that J.O. into a cup. Could be the gray aliens. It could be the tall grays. It could be the small grays. It could be the jellyfish. So here's the jellyfish. Jellyfish has become sort of a catch-all phrase for the weirder, less defined shapes of some UFOs. Here are a couple interesting examples. This footage is fucked. I've seen this. I don't like this thing. This footage, released by Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, shows an apparent UAP incursion over a military base in Iraq, 2018. Filmed in thermal by a base perimeter camera. Base staff stated it was not visible to the naked eye. This part of the video was the only section able to be released, with a further 17 minutes of cut footage supposedly showing the UAP moving seamlessly into the water and disappearing. A theory that the object was simply bird poop on the lens was disproven, as the object can be seen rotating slightly back and forth as it moves. I just don't like it. I don't want this to be real. I don't want this to exist. Just stop existing is how I feel about it. Too bad it wants to be oh, someone said I want to be friends with it. You can. You can try. Yeah, Jeremy Corbell, of course his watermark would be on there. Of course. It's not a surprise at all. If you know anything about him. He loves being the alien guy. He loves it. Simultaneously, in 2018, another very similar object was spotted in Mexico. A video comparing the two. Yeah, I can kind of see why people would just say jellyfish. Another chat member said probe droid. Does kind of look like that a little bit. Let's see the beginning of this one again. Could you imagine working a shift and seeing that? like live outside your, let's just say for a second, for the sake of argument, you're working inside of like a tiny little security hut or whatever, and you see that, like, what do you do? And then you have to remember that for the rest of your life. Here's one from Florida. In 2024, this object showed up on a Florida Ring door camera. Comments at the time noted it looked almost like a mechanized suit. Huh. It's one of the actually plot points of the movie Weapons were the door cameras. It's a Bionicle. You know, it does look like something that could be like a remote control thing. It could be like a drone with a cover on it. Someone said it's probably just some military shit. I mean, whatever it is, if it's not just a fake. But it looks more, I don't know, of this planet than the weird jellyfish thing. Totally real, by the way. 100% real. I know because Leonard Nimoy told me. This next one was taken in Saladin, Iraq in 2025. So this one seems to be pretty recent. This might be one of the most recent ones we have. And it seems to be another jellyfish one. I'm going to skip a little bit. It kind of just looks like a helium balloon with like tarp on it or something. Now, again, I'm not, you know, I'm a streamer. You know what I mean? Like, I say the funny words and I play video games. So, I understand if I'm not doing my due diligence here to try to disprove these things or, like, forensically analyze so that we can avoid enfoolment. But maybe that's been done already.
See if I can find it. There it goes.
It's a government camera.
Yeah.
Government.
Here, I'll do this that way you know it's for real.
This
It is
one
for real.
was uploaded Reddit 2024, quickly taken back down. So let's listen to the government.
It is.
Yeah. But you can't see, it's a drone.
No, it ain't.
It's a drone, bro. It's a government drone. It's taking pictures of us. It's sending it up the satellite.
It's a cocoon that's fixing to be an alien jumping out of her.
Oh, man. Cocoon. Send it up to alien. Oh, where'd the commentary go? It just stopped. That's another, you know, potentially the way it's kind of, to my untrained eye, it looks like it is a balloon blowing in the wind. I saw something very similar to this in Pennsylvania circa 2012-13. It looked like a giant black trash bag flying up high with a completely cloudless sky. I have no idea what the fuck it was, truly. Well, I mean, it's also... Don't discount... Listen, I do want to believe, like Mulder. Don't discount that there are people who would just put, like, a fucking massive helium balloon and, like, dress it up with garbage around it. Just to fuck with people. just because they're bored. Like, don't underestimate what a bunch of dumb teenagers might do. Or, like, even adults, like, anyone. I mean, I would almost revel in the idea of making a little fake alien jellyfish thing. But, yeah. What if the infrared-only videos are just a cloaking device and it's a cheap model that emits infrared, but it's unlikely to be seen as there aren't many infrared cameras? Very interesting, chat member. Now you're thinking with your noggin. All right, next. Morphing UFO from Brazil. Filmed in Curitiba, Brazil, July 2024. This bizarre object seems to be changing shape when stabilized and zoomed in. Could honestly be a balloon, but it's still neat. Oh yeah, I see it. That looks like a 3D model, though. I'm almost positive I saw, like, a seam line. Well, moving on. A ton of the stabilized videos from this pack are from the channels The Gamera Obscura on YouTube. They have loads of videos I'd never seen, all pretty great quality. I'd recommend checking them out. So this is the California Hammer and Mothership from 2009. Hammer shapes are oddly common sighting. This footage was shot in 2009 in California and shows a hammer-shaped object rising up and touching a larger object before both instantly disappear upwards. Yeah, it looks like... Whoa! Yeah, it looks like some object's, like, docked with it and then just fucked off. Here's a huge disc UAP hiding in clouds. This footage, taken from U.S. aerial reconnaissance platform, shows what looks to be a gigantic disc-shaped object moving between the clouds for cover. This footage was rumored to exist for years in certain circles, but was only released publicly in June 2025. If you see the watermark, you know it's real. Pretty cool footage, though.
Tarbaca is near San Jose, Costa Rica. Just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Marvin Badia, a young carpenter, was working when he heard a strange buzzing that distracted him from his work.
Acosta, Costa Rica, 2007.
To his intense amazement, the young man saw that the source of the noise was about 100 meters away from him.
I was shaping this table
UFO
here
TV.
outside. It was very cloudy. I looked up and saw some sort of object. It was very bright. I looked at it carefully and took out my mobile phone. I saw that it was giving me time to film it, so I started to record.
Huh?
I called my colleague, who was working with the drill, but he didn't hear me. I called him again. I turned towards him, moving the phone, and when I turned back, the object had already gone.
The film that Marvin recorded shows a classic flying saucer hovering just a few meters from the ground.
A Motorola Razr?
His colleague, William Rivera, didn't hear Marvin shouting over the noise of the drill he was using.
Oh, they recreated it.
Thus, he missed the extraordinary spectacle.
William, William.
I hear the drill. Oh, that's awesome.
William Rivera assures us that Marvin was quite shaken.
No, he wouldn't calm down. He was still very, very worked up. You see, I believe that this was a UFO. I have no doubt it wasn't man-made. And why was it here? We don't know.
The movements that the craft makes and its appearance prove that it could not
freaky.
have been a conventional earthly vehicle.
I would hate seeing that. I really would. I wouldn't want to have a fucking UFO that close to me. Also, I like his... He was like, it gave me time to film it. Well, that's convenient. God damn it. Egg UFOs. This footage, released January 19, 2025, shows what is described as a 20-foot-long egg-shaped craft being hauled by helicopter on a 150-foot rope. So I showed a little bit of this one, I think, when it first happened. I talked about it briefly. But yeah, egg is another potential. That's why I'm saying I think it's multiple guys. I think there's a lot of guys out there doing them UFOs. And I mean, it could be a miniature. Oh man, I've never seen a real UFO like that before. That's crazy. That footage is so good. Can I hear that again? Let's hear that again. Oh man, Riposte, good job. You got me on that one.
Shortly before midnight last Friday night, officers Kenny Graham and Kenny Downs were aboard this Jefferson County police helicopter. They were flying over the site of a suspected break-in near
They're
Sanford
partners
Avenue
because
and
they have the
Bank
same
Road
first name.
when they encountered something very strange.
It appeared to be some type of egg, a pear-shaped object with a glow inside.
The officers were flying a Jefferson County police helicopter at the scene of a suspected
Wow, the
break-in near
graphics.
Butcher
Oh my
Bank
God, the
Road
graphics.
when they saw that egg, pear-shaped object.
When the light at that time appeared on it, it just started floating towards the helicopter.
The UFO, about the size of a basketball, began making loops while the officers did their best to keep them within sight, but not too close, as both chopper and whatever traveled at around 100 miles an hour.
I know it was traveling at speeds I'd never seen before.
Then suddenly the UFO turned on its pursuer.
It shot 3 fireballs out, and just the lights went out, and it come at us, and he turned the helicopter, and it was gone.
The officers still don't know what it was they saw or what happened to it, but today GE employee Dwayne Hitchler was called in to fill a mysterious hole near where the encounter took place.
There was no apparent reason for it to be there, you know.
Dwayne says the mysterious hole was just about the size of a basketball, just like the UFO.
I believe that it was maybe an egg or something that was in the ground that hatched, you know, and just came up out of the ground and took off.
Once they returned to base, officers Graham and Downs made a full report to their commanding
What if they were
officer.
just hungry?
There's no doubt in my mind that there was an object out there. What it is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were just hungry. They were just seeing eggs. But, egg is a shape. All right. Acorn-shaped craft, Mexico, 2022. This odd acorn-shaped UFO was filmed from multiple angles, November 6, 2022, in Catemaco, Mexico. Catemaco? One of the most well-known UFO cases. The Kecksburg UFO was also described by witnesses as an acorn shape. See, that's a cooler shape for a UFO. Kind of also looks like a spinning, like a top or something, too. But that's just cooler than a hubcap at this point. It's like more chic. Like if you're going to fake UFO stuff, I mean, if you're going to film UFOs, if the aliens are going to fly here in their UFOs, it would be this shape that I'd be more interested in seeing than a hubcap. And also, no one's going to believe you if it just looks like a hubcap or a frisbee. Pensacola, Florida, 2011. Behind a row of trees. An object with 3 bright lights glides slowly across the ground. Unusual light feathers appear to emanate from and swirl around the primary lights. The adjacent foliage begins to sway as the intensity of the lights increase. No other info. That's it. That's all we got. Biblical angel. Chat member says, I think I would shit myself. Yeah, this was definitely... I mean, I was afraid of aliens and UFOs like Joel was, for sure. Because of the idea of seeing something like this in like a dark forest. It's definitely a scary thought. Here's the Metapod UFO. Taken September 2015 in Madrid, Spain, the Metapod UFO, named for its resemblance to the Pokemon, was recorded by a man named Modesto, who emailed it to YouTube channel UFO VNI. He said that it moved silently and that his friend could see something alive with limbs inside the craft through a clear window. Modesto himself stated he did not believe in UFOs, calling it nonsense. In the stabilized video, the craft can be seen descending and accelerating rapidly. You can make out the reflection of sunlight on the window while the object spins. Some skeptical theories are that the object could be an insect larvae dangling above the camera. Well, yeah, that's where the Metapod angle comes from. But I see it does look like glass. And that's really fucking weird. I mean, it could be a cocoon, but sure, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's weird as hell. Obviously, 3D model is the answer to all of this. Yeah, it's just the reflection of it, and hearing that they could make out a creature with limbs inside there is freaky. Just to suspend disbelief for a moment. Now, believe it or not, This is a different one. The sighting eerily resembles another one taken in 2006 in La Bruja de Monterrey, Mexico. So the one on the left is the one that you saw a moment ago, and the one on the right is the one from 2006. So they do have a similar shape. They move in a similar way. And, yeah. Another similar object seen in this recording, taken from a U.S. reconnaissance platform over the Middle East. Good music for this. It actually just looks like an alien head. A little bit. Palo Verde, 2022 UFO. Not a ton of info, but the video was filmed from a car November 5th, 2022, Palo Verde, California. Opinions seem to vary, but a lot of people seem to think that this is a crop duster flying very low at night, probably illegally. Here it is, slowed down and stabilized. Yeah, not really much to see here, but it's something that if you did see that in the middle of the night, not knowing what it was really, it would freak you out. NASA UFOs. There is so much space stuff, so I just picked my favorite UFO-related videos. So, if you want a Space Mysteries specific pack, let me know. Maybe. STS-75 was 1996 NASA space shuttle mission tasked with carrying and deploying tethered space satellite system in orbit to test generating electricity using Earth's magnetic field. This is the tether incident. This I've almost certainly covered. But it's a really good one. This one actually did make me believe in some weird shit when I saw it years ago. As well as the United States microgravity payload used to test material science and condensed matter physics in space. After deploying over 19 kilometers of tether, a plasma discharge ruptured and broke the tether. However, the footage taken by the crew shows an unusual amount of objects flying around the snapped tether and the space around it. When crew began to comment on the objects, the subject and camera angles are quickly changed. NASA affirmed that the objects on camera were simply space debris or ice crystals, though this has been disputed numerous times. So, the footage does get pretty weird, and the objects turn. This isn't the tether video. You're right, it's not.
And we see the lightning.
This is the Star Trek video. What the fuck is this one? Hang on.
And actually, this is living proof that everybody who asked the question, can you see stars during the daytime from space?
STS-75 Star Trek video. STS-75 the tether.
Columbia and the satellite now 77 nautical miles apart.
Well, it's getting really late, so I'm not going to be able to spend too much more time
the crew can
doing
see the
this.
tether and see the satellite. It's beautiful.
But this one is worth looking up if you're interested at all. This is fantastic stuff. And this one really fucked with me because when it zooms in, yeah, the commentary starts to get a little weird, and then
The
more.
satellite. Again, just moving into sunrise.
The objects in the distance there.
81 nautical miles now from Columbia.
So I saw a time lapse of this that watched that mark the trajectory, it's late, of some of these images, of some of these creatures, of some of these objects. And yeah, a lot of them are turning. Some speed up, some slow down. So if it's debris, they're definitely...
A couple of star-like things and a lot of things swimming in the foreground. Can you describe what you're seeing?
Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us, and it's illuminated by the sun at such low angle. So there's a lot of stray light, and it's getting washed out quickly, but Claude is trying to do a quick, good job here adjusting the cameras.
Yeah.
Copy that.
I wouldn't doubt that some of these objects...
This is the tether in the satellite. The satellite with 12, approximately 12 miles of tether still attached to it.
That's fucked up looking.
Like,
of course, I don't know optics. I don't know how these things work, and when you zoom in on something and you're unfocused, they get like more ill-defined and larger. But
satellite now just passing over the west coast of northern Africa. The two spacecraft now.
Columbia, Houston, that's a much better view, a lot more contrast visible. And how wide does that tether appear to be? It seems to resemble a much wider strand than we'd expect. Can you describe which way the satellite is visible on that strand?
Man, there's a lot of stuff just swimming around. Again, some of them doing turns. Strand type footage. Have you ever seen anything you couldn't explain? A lot of stuff tonight I can't explain. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know. I'm just interested. This I can't explain. I'm doing my best to apply my logic of just existing on this planet for 40 years, but yeah. That's the tether incident. This, I think, shows... Yeah, that object does a U-turn. So there's a little dot. You see it moving, and then it just is like, no, I'm going to go the other way. So unless there's some center of gravity for it to do that with, that's kind of suspicious. Salamanca, Spain. Well, before we do this one, it says here, STS-75 was used in a fictional NASA document reporting on experiments to determine effective sexual positions in microgravity. Astronomer and scientific writer Pierre Kohler mistook this document for fact, circulating it and causing a major increase in conspiracy theories about sexual experiments in space. Oh. STS-75 was not the only mission to record odd UFOs. The object comes into frame during STS-114, slows down, reverses out the exact same way. So that's the one we saw that was doing a U-turn. That was a different thing. Sorry about that. This one's Salamanca, Spain, 2016, cylinder. This bizarre spinning tube-shaped object was filmed while driving near the city of Salamanca, Spain, and was shared to the now defunct channel UFO VNI. UFO Vinny. That's me. I don't see shit. Okay. Well, it's a lightsaber. Okay, all right. Now we're seeing something. Digital zoom with image editor. It looks like a UFO, sorry, a lightsaber on a string. But, yeah, it's like spinning. I don't know about that one, but hey, whatever. How to Summon UFOs by Robert Bingham. If I wasn't so damn interested in this stuff, I would have just gone to bed by now.
I'm going to teach you right now the 3 steps to doing a good summoning. One is to have an open heart, an open mind, and good intention. You apply these 3 rules, and I'm sure you'll get good results. What I do actually is I look in the sky for a blue patch of sky, and I pick just one spot in that sky, and I look deep into that sky with my eyes as deep as I can. So I'm going to start looking in the sky right now, and you do the same thing.
Why was there like reverb on that? So when the chat just said, "Can I summon a girlfriend?" You got to concentrate.
And I call them at the same time I'm looking out there, project that thought, and they pick it up and they come down.
Concentrate and project.
We are like transmitters, and we have this ability. I don't verbally do it, I do it telepathically.
Okay. Well, let's see. Hey, it worked. Good for him. Why can't we just, like, get this guy to hang out with a bunch of scientists?
It's okay. Did you, like his spurts, you see him move, like, real quick? And
Holy cow, that's a great orb.
It's really glimmering in the light up there.
You're right. You sure is.
Can we see that camera, Robert?
This guy is, like, the most important human being on the planet. Why are we not hanging out with him more and studying him and giving them a TV show? Chat, that's a great orb right there.
Still there? Just going out there, and anybody can do summon extraterrestrials if they apply this technique.
Oh, well, that's why he's not important, because anyone could do it. All right. Cool. Chat, if we all looked at the same spot in the sky at the same time, we could summon UFOs. There's a lot of us. We could collectively apply. Dude, there's like 8,000 of us right now. This bizarre video was supposedly recorded October 2013 in rural Michigan. Real or not, it's well made and pretty scary to imagine being in. Interestingly, very similar events were reported in different areas of the U.S. at the same time, with 4 different similar objects being filmed over the course of a few weeks. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. I live in a rural part of Michigan. The closest major city is Port Huron. Saw a very strange object up in the sky near my home, so I jumped in my vehicle and followed it down the public dirt road. It suddenly turned and ended up turning onto a private unmarked road, which is why I probably used it. It's probably used for farm equipment to tend to the adjacent field crop. The object started moving past me as I got a better look, startled me, so I ran like hell for a little bit. I was making very strange, low, swirling noise, so please try and turn up your speaker volume to hear it better. Yeah, so there's swirling noises. It chases. I hear the swirling. I do hear the swirling. I heard the swirling. And here's the China version, apparently. Meaning it's a similar situation to that first video. Scanning, maybe. Skip ahead a little bit since, again, I'm kind of short on time here. Cool imagery for a game. Three Rivers Stadium, we're almost done. Dallas, Pittsburgh UFO, 1979. This clip is from an old CBS broadcast of an NFL game in Pittsburgh. Nothing crazy, just found it interesting that the commentators notice it too.
Your leader. I want you to explain that to me, Dr. Spock.
I'm afraid to. This is sort of a Twilight Zone football game.
Mr. Spock.
Those were some kind of, I don't know what they were. Pittsburgh.
I don't know either. This is where the rivers come together, but I didn't know about that. What are those things flying around up there?
Well, they're just some kind of a illusion.
It's an illusion. That's all.
I hope we get another look at them.
If you ever do get a coaching job, though, I'd like to be hired just to bed check and do things that are important around the training facility.
You'd be my first employee. There it is. Now, what is that?
You keep saying, take us to your leader. I don't know.
Now, that's another guy I'm going to hire, whoever's responsible for that. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
Just zoom in on it again. All right. Anyway, that could be the most important thing to humanity that has ever existed. Back to your sports. There's not much they can do about it. Why didn't they do more? This is a spinning UFO and was included for obvious reasons. It's spinning all right. Got it. Okay. Here we go, chat. Here we go. Kumburgaz, Turkey, UFO. Covered in ET encounters and mystery meets. Right? We've seen this. However, this is the version that this chat member wanted to include. Now, this one you could see the aliens. The Turkey UFO refers to a recurring object seen and filmed multiple times from 2007 to 2009 in Kumburgaz, Turkey. This footage was taken by a man using a 200 times magnifying scope lens on his camera in various locations near his home. While the footage is genuine, skeptics point to a theory that the object is the deck of a cruise ship. Others state that the object is simply too high above the horizon to be a ship. What's more interesting is the various images taken when zoomed in, seemingly showing the occupants of the craft through the window. While these could easily be image degradation caused by zooming in, it's still interesting how similar the occupants are to typical gray aliens. There's a lot of, this is 6 minutes of footage, which I have seen. And it's been on the stream. But, yeah, if you look closely, I mean, it's pretty crazy, and it starts to really set your brain going. What if this dude filmed gray aliens? Here's what the shot looks like, with potentially gray alien head added. Right? Now, chat, I have another world first. Okay? This is using technology that never existed before. We have an upscale of the footage of the aliens inside the Turkey UFO.
Tehtävään on valittu. Merimakkara. Mörssäri. Pullomaha. Ja tehtävä on.
Fun fact, the actor in the middle now lectures on acting in Helsinki University.
UFO porno! Merimakkara. Mörssäri.
That's definitely a jizz whaler, chat. Without a doubt.
Pullomaha. Tehtävänä. UFO porno!
Ja hyvät naiset.
This is what it looks like for them. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Riposte, for making this pack. It was very interesting. I learned some new things. I don't know if I've walked away any more intelligent, like the life that is obviously visiting us, as we've seen here. But I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was great. And thank you all for watching this. It was fun. And maybe there will be more weird alien or noises or creature stuff in the future. Chat, thank you for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll do more cursed Xbox and more scummy Marios and more other things eventually. This week, I'm going to do more Silent Hill F, try to finish that up possibly. Eclipsium, other random little horror things, Final Fantasy Tactics, why not? And maybe some Mega Bonkin, who knows? Also, chat, I'm here to tell you that Ball X Pit, if you played the demo, you know this. I've been playing the full version. It's fucking awesome. Really good. Tomorrow's my usual time. I am 90% sure that tomorrow will be my usual time. I might start a little bit late tomorrow. 9:15 Eastern, more than likely. We'll see. And also maybe a surprise multiplayer thing this week too. We'll see. Good night, chat. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for continuing to watch the streams. And if you sub, thank you. If not, thank you as well. See you during the week. Goodbye.
Tehtävään on valittu. Merimakkara. Mörssäri. Pullomaha. Ja tehtävä on. UFO porno! UFO porno! Merimakkara.